Promotional consideration for Prep Recruiting Insider is provided by Moe's Pizza, the best pizza on the West Bank. Stop by before or after the game at Moe's, 1112 Avenue H in West Wego. Check out their full menu online at moespizzanola.com and tell them you heard about it on PRI. And welcome back to Prep Recruiting Insider here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. I'm the coach of PRI, Rick Gailey, along with our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nadeau. And Renee, we're not finished recruiting here in 2015, but it's not too early to look ahead to 2016 with our top 20 prospects.
And yeah, we got about 20 guys now that they could move up and down, but we're going to take a look at them right now, how they stand on the docket so far.
And we start with cornerback Kyle Myers of Holy Cross.
Kyle Myers, 5'11", 165, maintains with the receiver, comes up against the run, has offers from Northwestern State and South Alabama, has some looks from UTEP, Tulane, Southern Miss, Kansas State, ULL, and Louisiana Tech.
And tied at 20, linebacker Aquinas Stodd of St. James.
5'11", 215, runs a 4.6 40 as a 2A All-State. Sideline to sideline on the watch list of Tulane, UL Monroe, ULL, Memphis, Tulsa, Florida Atlantic, and Middle Tennessee. Hardest worker in the weight room. He was an All-State performer in 2013 as well.
And number 19, linebacker Pernell Jefferson of Warren Easton.
6'3", 233, Rick, 4.55 speed, All-State performer. LSU and Texas A&M are watching him very, very closely. 115 tackles this year. One of the most gifted players on an extremely talented team. Good drops on passing as well.
And from Errett at number 18, Robert Green, defensive end, linebacker.
6'1", 225, 4.6 speed, Kansas State, Purdue, Stanford, LSU, Mississippi State, Tennessee, all have great interest. 2013 district MVP, will be a 4-year starter for the Patriots. He also runs the hurdles, tells you what kind of athlete he is. Very nasty, comes up off the edge.
And linebacker from Curtis, Nathaniel Evans, number 17.
5'11", 220, also 115 tackles this year, All-State performer. Offers from Tulane and ULL, Rick. LSU, Ole Miss, Arizona, Nebraska, UCLA, and Houston are monitoring his progress. Very few missteps, comes downhill, very physical, plays basketball, tells you what kind of athlete he is, and has multiple double-digit tackle games.
And someone we had on the show earlier in the year, wide receiver Herb McGee from Riverside.
2 sports All-State. He's got returns as a good punt returner, 3.8 grade point average, top 5 in his class. Has an offer from LSU in football, some interest in football from Florida State, Mississippi State, Nebraska, Arizona State, and Tulane. Some round ball offers from Tulane, ULL, Southeastern, Oral Roberts, UCF, and Louisiana Tech. Could dunk the ball in 8th grade, has just scratched the surface in football.
And 15 on our list, defensive end linebacker Cy Martin of McDonough 35.
And he's going to grow. He's 6'3", 205. Offers from Arizona State, Louisiana Tech, UL Monroe, Tulane, and Southern Miss, Arkansas, Florida, LSU, Oklahoma State are watching him. He'll add about 25 pounds, plays good in space.
And another Ron Eagle at 14, defensive tackle Masterfin Taylor.
And they'll be with us in a few weeks, Rick. He's defensive tackle, 6'3", 275, will add a little weight. Offers from the Green Wave, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, UL Monroe, and Louisiana Tech. Good hands, moves well, great upside.
Number 13 at safety, and a meat warrior, Joshua Perry.
All-State this year, LSU has offered the 6'2", 185-pounder. Alabama and Clemson are monitoring very well, very closely. Good in transition, closing speed, finds the ball very well, and good length and good reach.
Number 12, an athlete that we had on the show from Errett, Karan Bayham.
He's 4'5" speed, 6', 180. He's playing quarterback, but he may be a slot receiver. Mississippi State, Arizona State, and Utah watching him. He focuses on the little things. He had 5 touchdowns in one game against West Jeff. 27 touchdowns on the season, runs the 4x1 and 4x2 relay, is a leader. He does things very, very well. Good broken field runner.
And number 11, linebacker Andre Anthony. Last year played at Miller McCoy. We hear that school is closing, so he's going to be moving somewhere else, but he's still a top prospect.
6'4", 210, 4.55, offers from ULL, Louisiana Tech, Ole Miss, Southern Miss, Tulane, UCF. Frank Wilson is keeping tabs on him for the Tigers. Can run very well, good in space, good closing speed, comes off the edge.
At number 10, defensive tackle from Destrehan, Gerald Wilbon.
6'3", 330, lost a little weight. Texas Tech has offered him. Arkansas, LSU, Mississippi State are on a watch list. He may move to offensive guard. Rick, just a thought. Moves extremely well, very strong, good penetration as a defender, but again, he may play offense.
Continuing in the top 10 at 9, running back Trey Turner of Holy Cross.
Wants to play baseball and football. He'll get that chance with Mississippi State. 4.33 40 is at full speed on a second step, very explosive. Arizona State, ULL, Arkansas, Houston, SMU, Tulane, Nebraska have all hoping to change his mind. LSU, TCU, and Florida State have offered to play both sports. He is an outstanding outfielder in baseball, good hitter, great range.
At number 8, tight end Jamal Pettigrew of the St. Aug Purple Knights.
6'6", 225 tight end, is a top tight end in Louisiana. Good hands, balance, athleticism. He camped at LSU, Alabama, Auburn, and Mississippi State. LSU and Florida may be at the top of the list, but North Carolina, TCU, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Tulane, Nebraska, Miami, Louisville, and Ole Miss are in the hunt as well.
He really stands out in a crowd. At number 7, running back from Shaw, Trey Ragas.
5'11", 210. He'll be on the show next week. Ole Miss, Tulane has offered. Arkansas, Auburn, Florida State, ULL, UCLA, Tennessee, Mississippi State all really like him a lot. Yards after contact, extremely hard worker. 1,800 yards this year, 7.4 yards per carry, 23 touchdowns. One game against Higgins, 6 scores, 272 yards.
And we have some recent news on our number 6 prospect defensive tackle, Briston Guidry of Rummel.
You know, he did commit it to Mississippi State. He's got LSU, Louisville, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Tulane, Southern Miss, and Tennessee really pulling on him. 6'3", 285, disruptive, gets into the backfield very quickly, demands double team, moves laterally very well.
And another defensive tackle at number 5, another defensive tackle from Destrehan, Glenn Logan.
6'4", 295. LSU is in the thick of things. Oklahoma and Texas A&M, lots of pressure, very intense in the recruiting process. Tulane, Arizona State, Louisiana Tech, Mississippi State, Nebraska, and Tulane are all, as we said, are in it. Dominating, can play defensive end, a defensive tackle, 305 technique. He'll probably, he plays like he's 20 to 25 pounds lighter, can skate along the line and find the ball quickly.
At number 4, wide receiver from Warren Easton, Clyde Chris.
6 foot, 175, 4.4 speed, had 35 catches for 882 yards, averaging just under 26 yards per catch, even though he played on the offense with Tyron Johnson, Darrell Clark, and those guys. It may be a LSU, Clemson, tug of war. Ole Miss, Georgia, Arkansas, UCLA, Texas Tech, and A&M are all in it. His 2014 was cut short because of an injury, but look out for him in 2015.
At number 3, from Eric, Michael Divinity, a linebacker.
And he was with us, you remember, Rick. LSU might be the leader. He runs the 200 and 100 meters. Texas A&M is also in the mix. Florida State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma State, Kansas State, Tennessee, and Southern Miss. High football IQ, as a headhunter, plays sideline to sideline, and I like to call him a collision tackler.
And number 2, outstanding cornerback from Archbishop Rummel, who we had on earlier this year, Christian Fulton. 6 foot, 170, 4.47 speed. LSU may be the team to beat. Florida and Georgia right behind the Tigers. Mississippi State, Arkansas, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Tulane, UCLA, and Ole Miss are also in it. 10 interceptions in 7 games, Rick, with 3 interceptions coming against Holy Cross. Is a basketball player, transitions well. He can erase the receiver. And number 1 on the first list of 2016, offensive tackle Willie Allen from John Curtis.
6'7", 310, an all-state performer. LSU and Alabama may be at the top right now. Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Nebraska, UCLA, Ole Miss. Tremendous desire to be the best. He works on the little things, and remember, he is a basketball player. He's very athletic. He will be a special player.
And that is the initial list for 2016. It's never too early in the game of recruiting. This is Prep Recruiting Insider, NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale in the Event Center with the karting area right over there and the big track right behind us. This satisfies your need for speed. Go to nolamotor.com to find out about all the events here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. We'll be right back with more PRI after this timeout.